Well, good evening, everyone. This is Eric Lamar, the host of A Whole New Me show. So glad you're joining me this evening for Wednesday night webinar. Tonight is going to be exciting. We're going to be talking about how to have fun while transforming your lifestyle. So I want to welcome you to the broadcast. You're looking at this broadcast in an environment that we call on your Facebook page. And a couple of things I want to just draw your attention to so that you can get maximum enjoyment out of tonight is where you're watching this. Up above, now if you're on a phone, it could be a little bit different, but if you're on a computer, then what I'm sharing with you is right up above my head, you're going to see some share buttons, Twitter, Google Plus, and so forth. Please share this out and invite your friends. This is going to be something that you definitely want people to hear and understand. I'm going to be telling you a little bit about my story, and I'm also going to be telling you some information. We're going to talk about 3 secrets to help you to have fun while transforming your lifestyle. We're also going to talk about 5 lessons that I've learned along the journey that I started back September of 2015. And then we're going to talk about avoiding 3 mistakes that can interrupt your fun while you're transforming your lifestyle. So if you look down below the video, there could be a few other slots for videos, but if you scroll all the way down, you'll see a comment feed. And there's a comment section. You can ask questions. I'll monitor those questions. Engage with each other. Please tell me where you're listening in from. So just make a comment down below. Let me know where you're listening in, please. And then if you have questions or if you see some other people that you want to connect with, you're inside of Facebook, so you can send friend requests, like their comments, share, and so forth. There's also a box that you want to uncheck if you're going to write something lengthy. It says auto refresh comments. You want to uncheck that box and then recheck it so that it doesn't refresh and you lose your comments that you're making. So I'll be monitoring everything on that as well. So I'm going to just double check a couple things real quick here, and then we're going to get cranking through this. This is going to be hot, hot, hot. So I hope everyone is having a great day wherever you're listening in from. And again, please let me know where you're listening from. It's always good to have an idea of where the audience is coming from and how you found out about this. Was it something that I particularly invited you to, or did you find out, through something else? So I want to just check a couple of comments that we have here. All right. So let's dive right into this. So let me tell you a little bit about my story. Again, my name is Eric Lamar Smith. I live over in St. Petersburg, Florida. And it was last year, this time last year, I was experiencing health issues. Although many of my friends and colleagues didn't necessarily know that. And I don't say that meaning that I'm proud of keeping anything a secret. But most of us, when we have things going on, we really try to keep things super personal. And I was faking it, basically, because I just really wasn't feeling well. In the month of August, I really started getting scared. I was afraid to go to sleep at night. I've had high blood pressure for probably 10 years. It was a couple of years ago that one of my doctors back in Oklahoma told me that the blood pressure medicine has a statin that causes obesity, and that she prefers all of her patients, if medically possible, not to be on prescription drugs. And I just shook my head. What kind of doctor are you? I mean, can you imagine your doctor telling you that they want you off drugs? I mean, how many of you have ever had a doctor tell you that they want you off prescription drugs? And so it was then a couple of years ago that I became aware, but I still didn't do much about it. I've always tried to lose weight. Weight has been an issue for me ever since I was 6 years old. So I grew up a little bigger than all the other kids. I was just as fast and athletic and so forth. But when I get back to August of last year, I had stroke level blood pressure readings. I was 200 over 109, 119. And I was afraid of going to sleep. I was having near blackout sessions as I was driving. One time it was really bad. I was crossing a long 7-mile bridge we have here in Tampa that goes between Tampa and St. Petersburg. It's called the Howard Franklin. And as I entered across the bridge, just crossing over the Tampa Bay, there's no exits or anything. You can't turn around. And all of a sudden I started getting lightheaded. My shoulder, I started having some pain in my shoulder. My heart's beating faster. And I feel numbness in my right leg. Now that's my driving foot, my right foot. And just to brake to pull over was scary because I couldn't even feel how much pressure I was putting on the brake. And that really scared me. It was like 6:30 in the morning. It was dark. And I was headed to play golf. I was headed to a golf tournament. And I said, okay, what's going on? So all these questions are going through my mind. Didn't have health insurance. And it was like, I can't afford to call an ambulance. So this fear, this issue with finance, this issue with insurance, all that stuff was going through my mind. And I said, okay, let me just breathe, relax. So I ease back up on the highway and I'm going across. I'm still going, went up about a mile or so. It hit me again and I had to pull over. This time, I'm even more scared. But I can't get off the bridge. There's no exit or anything. And so I said, okay, I got to stay alert. I don't want to pass out. I don't know what's going on. Maybe I just need to eat because I haven't had any breakfast. Again, trying to medicate myself, self-diagnose. I don't recommend that. So I talk myself across the bridge as I'm driving. I'm slapping myself. Stay alert, Eric. Stay alert. You got this. You can do this. And I'm just trying to pump myself up. And I exit off the highway and I pull over into a Cracker Barrel restaurant and I go get something to eat. And then I start feeling better. And I'm like, oh, okay, probably my sugar was low. Again, just trying to figure out what was going on. I went and played golf, played a great round of golf. And I had another episode later on, but I had talked to my doctor after the second episode and I told her what was going on. And first of all, she chewed me out for not calling 911. So I encourage you, anytime you have any kind of issues, please just call 911. Safety first. Please don't ever try to self-diagnose. So I will never try to diagnose people myself either. I don't sleep at Holiday Inns. I'm not qualified to be a doctor. And unless you are a doctor on the show, you're not either. So I woke up one morning, end of August, and right at the beginning of September, and I said, enough is enough. And so I started this journey. And because I do produce web shows in my other business, much similar to what you're seeing now, and I'm broadcasting inside of Facebook and so forth, I said, you know what? I'm going to do something for myself, and so I'm going to keep myself accountable. So I'm going to tell people what I'm doing, and then I'm going to show people what I'm doing, and then I'm going to do it, and then when the results come, then they can see the results. And basically that is what has happened. I started in September weighing 337 pounds, blood pressure, again, even on medication, off the charts. Today, this morning, weighed in at 276 pounds. Super excited about that. So that's 61 pounds that I've released. And blood pressure readings are, I had it checked 2 Saturdays ago and I messaged my doctor, 120/76. And she was super excited. And so we've started a plan now where I'm tapering off on my blood pressure medicine. So that's super exciting. Cholesterol reading is below 200. Sugar levels are below 100, fasting sugar. So that's awesome. And so along this pathway, this is what I want to talk about tonight, is how I've done this and maintained a great attitude because I feel like I'm having a blast. And so my message to everyone else is, as we're going through this lifestyle change, because really that's what we have to come to grips with. You'll notice there's certain language that I will use and certain words that I'll try not to use, or I seek to avoid. Not try, I work to avoid certain words. One of those words you'll hear me use is weight release. You may want to write this down. And I call it weight release. An associate shared that with me because we give our body permission. Hey, release that, let it go. It's okay. The idea of losing as humans in our psyche is difficult. So when we lose something, we have a tendency where we get into a vex. So that idea of losing, I switch that energy in my body and say, I release the weight. I give you permission to leave me and you never have to come back. By the way, I'm not coming looking for you because I don't count you as lost. So that's a vocabulary. And so inside of A Whole New Me, the community, we're learning new vocabularies and we're taking on new approaches in life. So get your pen and paper. I want to talk about 3 secrets, and I'm going to go through these pretty quickly. But secret number 1 is to have fun is simply making a decision. Making a decision that you are choosing whatever it is, because I have to make sure people understand that A Whole New Me, what I have created with this show and everything that we're doing and the communities we're building, and you have that opportunity if you want to be a part of our communities. A Whole New Me is more than a weight release program. It's a lifestyle transformation program. And in focusing on transforming your life, think about the areas that cause you either exhilaration or sadness in your lifestyle. So could weight be one of those things? Could it be frustration with your finances? Could that lead to stress? Could that lead to binge eating? If a creditor calls or something happens, does it make you go and get comforted by food? And is that showing up on the outside? Okay. So think about all those different things that could be going on with you. Perhaps it's a relationship issue or a lack of relationship. Could that be creating stress or creating unhappinesses and so forth? So when we talk about A Whole New Me, we're looking at 4 areas of life: health, business, finance, relationships. And then under those, you've got subcategories: relationships, spiritual, family, personal, and so forth. All right. So understanding that's A Whole New Me. So when you think about your lifestyle, has there ever been a situation where your lifestyle was cramped or it was embarrassed? I'll share with you a couple of embarrassments that I've had. I used to travel a lot, fly on airplanes. And I've had the situation where the flight attendants have asked me to move from my seat because I was seated in an area with a seatbelt extender. Well, first of all, it was embarrassing having to ask for the extender. And then because I was sitting in a seat that I couldn't wear the extender, then they would need me to switch with someone else. Can you imagine standing in the middle of a plane? Most of the people that are behind you are looking up at you and you've got to switch seats with someone. Or how about being on an amusement park ride and they can't close the gate over you and you have to get up off the ride in front of everybody and exit, or just asking to sit at a table at a restaurant because you can't enjoy a booth because you just can't fit. And if you did, your clothes are going to get so messed up because everything is falling on your clothing. Frustrations with your partner, not being able to, enjoy intimate relationships as well as you could. You see, your lifestyle, these are issues that we have to be willing to talk about. So secret number 1 is making a decision that your lifestyle is going to become one that you choose to enjoy. And I use that word choose because it's a choice. Secret number 2 is develop and learn what your why is. Why are you doing this? If your why is not strong enough, then you're not going to be successful. You know, they say a farmer was talking to a buddy, and the farmer's dog was laying on the porch, laying on top of a nail, and the dog just kept whimpering, oh, you know, but he wouldn't move off the nail. And the buddy asked the farmer, why doesn't he just move? And the farmer said, because it doesn't hurt bad enough. So when we look at our whys, whether it's our children, our grandchildren, our significant others, or wanting to serve the world, show up bigger, stronger, faster, whatever that why is, if it's strong enough, then it's going to allow us as humans to either run toward pleasure and run from pain. Those are the 2 emotions that we deal with. So if the pain of sacrifice is great enough because the pleasure of the reward is big enough, then we're going to be successful. Secret number 3, find a support team. I call it my Mission Possible team. Now, I have, many of you know, and you may not know, if you're first time ever listening, I have a chef, I have a chiropractor, I have a massage therapist, I have a mental therapist, I have a personal trainer, and more. This support is critical, and I'm going to teach you the elements that you need to know in selecting these ones. I have a 12-week boot camp course that people are starting to enroll in that will kick off next month. And it's a great opportunity to go into a deeper dive of a lot of the things that I'm talking about tonight, because tonight I've promised you the 3 secrets, 5 lessons, and 3 things you must avoid. And so having that support team, and then incorporating your friends, sharing this journey, what you're doing, because it helps you stay accountable. It has helped me stay accountable because I know so many people are watching what I do. They come to expect my regular recordings and so forth. So that means if I don't feel like working out, then that means my audience is not going to see the recording that they may be looking for, so that they can get some ideas of an exercise, or just say, okay, Eric did it, I got to get out and do it too. So when we think outside of ourselves and we think about the benefit that others receive, that drives us. Now that drives me. Maybe you're not like that, and that's okay. Not saying you have to be, but the point of it is if we could have done this by ourselves, then we should have had it done a long time ago. So if we are not where we want to be, how about trying on the idea that we need support? Some lessons. Let me share with you these lessons that I've learned. Lesson number 1, I've learned that I'm not perfect. I'm not a robot, nor a machine. I'm going to have days where it's just not in the books that I want to do it. And what do I need to do? I need to do it. But do something. Give yourself permission to be human. That's super important. Give yourself permission to be human. So again, if you have questions or if you want me to repeat anything, you should be able to see a comment feed below all the videos, and you can type in your comment, or simply text me at 727-313-0944. So feel free to text your questions. If you're watching on your phone and you're with someone, use another phone, and be more than happy to address the questions from there. So you can text me at 727-313-0944. And again, what we're talking about is how to have fun while transforming your life. We just went over 3 secrets. Number 1, making a decision. Number 2, learning your why. Number 3, creating a support team, your Mission Possible dream team. So that first lesson, like I said, is that understanding I'm not perfect, and I'm going to have days where I need to give myself permission. Now, when I say give myself permission to be human and understand and not beat myself up, that does not mean that that carries over day after day after day after day, because then that becomes a bad habit and then you're not getting where you want to be. So you have to focus and regroup. Sometimes it's good to take a step back so you can take 2 steps forward. Oftentimes the saying goes, I took a step forward to take 2 steps backwards. Well, that's not what we're doing. We're recharging ourselves so we can make progress. So if I take 1 step back and 2 steps forward, 1 step back, 2 steps forward, I'm still moving forward. Lesson number 2 that I've learned is understand that my max ability will grow or expand. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, I'm sharing with you some language that's a little bit different. That language typically people would say is understand your limitations. Well, I don't want you to think limit. I don't want you to think restrictions, because the key to having fun is abundance. And so thinking abundantly, we do want to understand what our max capacity is for that particular day. We've done all we can. Great. Accept that. As you continue to hit your max, that ceiling is going to grow. So your max capacity will grow. Today, you may only be able to walk 1 mile. Be happy with that, because that takes us into point number 4 is celebrate the small wins. I'm sorry, point number 3, celebrate the small wins. So understanding that for a week, you may be able to walk 1 mile. Give yourself a hand, because up till now, you may not have been walking anything. So that mile has 100% increased your efforts because you weren't doing it. The next week, you go 1.5 miles. 2 weeks down the road, you go 2 miles. Okay. And you continue to progress. So celebrate the small wins. Understand that number 4, get back on the horse, get back on track. There are going to be times where you're going to have those setbacks. You're going to have those moments to where you may have overindulged in something that was not part of your plan. Okay. Real quick, let me message someone that's having a challenge getting to the event. I apologize. Hold on just 1 quick second. All right. So understand that there are going to be moments where, man, you just had a piece of cake that wasn't on your plan for that particular day. Don't beat yourself up. You're not going to gain 10 pounds just because you ate that particular piece of cake. Now, I did have a day one time where I fell off, and I fell off bad for 24 hours. And the sodium content that I consumed and the sugar content that I consumed, it was a day that I will not forget, because I had gone 18 months without a soda. And I was with a roommate, and I gave in and had a Coke that night. And Coke is not an issue for me. It used to be my drink of choice. And I went 18 months without a Coke. So this was back in March that this happened. I had a Coke on a Sunday. That taste was, I thought it was, people say, oh, I've been without Coke for a while and it's nasty and I don't touch it. Man, it was good. I have to be honest, it was good. Tuesday, I went to the movie. I ordered a popcorn, had a large, like 44-ounce Coke, drank every drop. I mean, went and ate crab legs with butter and a big dinner. And I got back on the scales the next day. I was 8 pounds heavier. And I said, wow, that was not worth it. That for me Because now I choose to do this. Most people recommend you don't do this, but I weigh myself on a daily basis. I choose to do this. I'm not recommending that because I like to see the cause and effect, because I'm tracking, I'm documenting what I'm doing. I don't do that to get discouraged myself. I do that because I look back over what have I eaten over the last couple of days and how that affects what I'm doing. But when it's normal, I can typically see steady progress every single day. And so for me, it's encouragement, because when I stay on my plan, I get results. So because I'm not allowing myself to cheat and so forth. So lesson number 5 that I learned was accept praise. When we're individuals that may have been carrying excess weight for a long periods of time, we don't see the new us like others see us. They can see our progress, but sometimes we don't see the progress because we look at ourselves in the mirror every single day. And so they tell us, wow, you're looking good. And we minimize what people say. We need to embrace what people say and take that on as energy to continue progressing. Because the minute we're telling ourselves no, no, and they're telling us yes, listen to the yeses. Remove negative thoughts from our minds. So critical. So when others are saying you're looking good, Eric, turn around and say, you know what? Thank you. I needed to hear that. I appreciate that, because I was beginning to wonder, be honest, but embrace what they are sharing with you. But in society, it's difficult to accept praise or the attention. Take it, brothers and sisters. Enjoy it. You deserve it because you started this journey. I started this journey. We have an end goal in mind, and all people are doing is confirming to us that we're doing what we're supposed to be doing. So love that. Embrace it. Let's talk about 3 things to avoid. One of the things that I find that I see oftentimes with people is what I call a solo attitude. Remember, if we could have done this by ourselves, we should have had it done. So why does everything have to be about us and so individualized? Be honest with yourself. When you go to the gym, how focused really are you at the gym when you just go by yourself? Now, some people can do it. So I'm not saying that you shouldn't be by yourself. How different is it though when you're with someone, or you have a partner, or you meet for a walking group and you get it done? How much more energy do you receive? And then during that exchange of exercising together, how many suggestions or ideas or successes or epiphanies pop into your head? Wow, I've been having this foot problem and they said this. You may not say anything, but you may want to go try. If they said they got some relief, it might be worth it. Or if they lost a few extra pounds because they found out a particular thing about their body and they realized that their body craved something or needed a particular supplement, and they decided to go purchase that supplement and give it to their body, and the body responded and gave them what they were looking for, doesn't that mean success leaves clues? But you may not get that if you're just by yourself. So remember, team sports. That's how everyone wins. Now, if we wanted to make weight loss like golf, where it's an individual sport, or tennis, then okay, that's fine. You can do that. But the success that I've achieved that has kept me on my path is because I have a team around me, and then I embrace and invite the public. As a matter of fact, I live, as I said, in St. Petersburg, which is in the Tampa, Florida area. I have 3 public walks that I invite the public out to. Saturday mornings, I walk along a bridge that's called the Courtney Campbell Causeway. It's a walk, goes across the Tampa Bay. We do a 5K walk Saturday mornings, 8 o'clock. If you'd like to join, let me know. I'm going to be getting a page up this week, Healthy Walk and Talk with Eric. And that's going to be a page, and it's going to be dedicated strictly just to the walk with times. And you can get on an email list so that you can be notified of any kind of changes or anything. So please make note of that. Friday mornings, 7:30, Bayshore, which is a different part of Tampa Bay, close to downtown Tampa. I have these walks set up in different regions so that it's convenient for most people to come join me. And then it's 7 p.m. Tuesday evening, downtown St. Petersburg, right at the marina where the old pier used to be. We meet and we walk the bay Tuesday evenings. So that's how I make sure I'm not alone. Okay. And then plus with my trainer and so forth. Today I went and did a CrossFit training. That was intense. They modified it for me, but that takes me into, again, going back to one of the lessons I learned, understanding what our max capacity is. My max capacity maxed out pretty quickly, but it was pretty cool because I was rowing on a row machine. Instead of everyone was out there running, they were sprinting 100 meters. My body's not ready to be sprinting yet. The jarring on my feet, ankles, my hips, I could create more injury for myself, which would then lead to a bigger setback. But I found something that I could do to get even more energy burning and more calories, because as I was on this row machine, man, it engaged my abs, my arms, my legs, my back. It was incredible. Then we did burpees, and I did a modified burpee. So it was fun. And the people there were encouraging and were supporting each other. And it was just awesome. Avoid self-sabotage. What do I mean by self-sabotage? Oftentimes when we have a setback or a failure, we beat ourselves up. There's so much environmental stuff that's working against us. We don't need to work against ourselves. That's why it's important to stay engaged with your support team. Join a Facebook group. If you're not in the group that we've created, A Whole New Me, please come join our group. The group is designed to give support and encouragement. We do challenges. There will be another challenge coming out this Friday. The challenge is going to be on gratitude. So let me just kind of share with you some of the challenges we've had. We had one that was just post a video of your activity, of your exercise, walking, biking, swimming, whatever it was that you did, running stairs, walking stairs, extra stuff you did on your job, whether it's packing meat, throwing junk away. Showcase that. Doing squats, body wrapping people. I mean, we have most people that were getting involved were incorporating the challenge around their daily activity. And they were just showcasing, so we can get people thinking how to, instead of taking the elevator or the escalator at work, what about taking the stairs? Okay, that's just increased activity. So the next week was grab a partner to do your challenge. The following week was pictures or videos of healthy meals. The next challenge was taking time out to just calm down, relax, and enjoy nature. Nature photos. Why was that challenge so important? That challenge was designed, again, to make us stop. We're in such a fast-paced world, and the adrenaline is always pumping and everything, and we got to be here, got to be there. So we'll grab fast food, we'll do this, and we're eating on the run, we're eating in the car. Man, look what we're doing to ourselves. We're killing ourselves. Body's not digesting food properly. We're creating gas. We're creating bloating, not digesting. The colon's getting impacted. So we're not absorbing our nutrients and so forth. I mean, that's self-sabotage. So don't participate in any of that stuff. The last thing to avoid is stop following the fads or the crowds. Just because everybody else is doing something, this new fad that hit the airwaves or a new particular exercise, doesn't mean you just run and abandon everything that you're doing. Find out genetically and scientifically, number one, what your body needs to eat and what it needs for exercise, what it needs to avoid to eat. And there's various tests that you can do. Don't go just do what, I mean, we see evidence of this when people are on their jobs. How are you investing your 401k? Okay, I'll do the same thing. Man, we all lost a bunch of money because you followed the crowd. Find out what your particular body wants and needs. So I've done that as part of my Mission Possible team. I have genetics experts on my team. I find out the specific diet my body wants. And guess what? I have released 40 plus pounds since February. I made a shift in my eating program in February because my body needed it. I'm not saying this is what you should do, but I went to more of a vegan lifestyle. I also incorporate seafood. I eat fish. So I have some fish here that I was snacking on before I started the broadcast. I've got some other vegetables I'm going to warm up and eat after I finish, but I had to get started. So my body's responding because my genetic code says I needed more carbs, healthy carbs, not pastas, grains, and that type of carbs, but healthy carbs and less protein. What I was doing before February was high protein, low carbs. My body did not want that. And a lot of trainers will tell people you want more protein and less carbs. Possibly, but go find out for yourself. So I hope you enjoyed those points. And basically what has happened since I've achieved certain success is that I get more questions. I get more people wanting to know how they can achieve greater levels of success as well. And so I want to make sure that you're supported in getting the levels of success that you need to have for achieving your goals. So what I like to invite everyone, and the only offer that I have for you, there's nothing for you to buy tonight. What I would like for you to do is to, I'm looking for the form, but apparently it's not there. I'm going to give you my email address, and that's Eric Lamar at awholenewmeshow.com. That's Eric Lamar at awholenewmeshow.com. And what I'd like for you to do, you're welcome, Karen. Thank you for your comment there. What I'd like for you to do is send me an email. There's supposed to be an application embedded on the page that it is not showing up for some reason. But would like for you to send an email if you would like to take advantage of a private consultation so that you can take a look at what you're doing. I would love to hear what your goals are, where areas that you may be having challenges, pain points, and so forth. So I'd like to extend an opportunity for you just to shoot me a quick email and say, Eric, I'd like to schedule some time to visit with you. That's what I wanted to accomplish tonight, is share some things with you, share some value, share my story. Love for you to share my story with other people because I'm having a blast. I did not realize that I had a passion for this type of community work. You know, what I've learned scientifically, what I've learned about genetics, learned about food, I wanted to put together a plan and a program that people can become a part of to get greater results or more effective results and have fun along the way. Because typically, most programs that I've ever seen, and I'm not here to compare programs, it's just what I've experienced. Because this is not the first time I've lost weight, but this is the first time I've lost weight the way I'm doing it, with the ease in which I'm doing it, and having fun along the way. I never thought about, or no one ever told me to get a DNA test to find out what my propensities are and what diet program or food program I should be on based on my genetics. I encourage every parent to have their children genetically tested so that they don't get into a situation where they're older and now they have to fight high blood pressure, fight diabetes, fight other things. Educate your children as to why they should be eating a certain way. It could be a challenge for a family to feed their kids differently, but wow, wouldn't it be worth it at the end when everybody's healthy? I mean, I look back and I wish this information had been shared with my parents. So by no means am blaming my parents or anything. I accept responsibility for who I am and what I have become. But if we can start paying that forward and moving it a different direction, change the scales, change the medications, how much money could we save and put into our investment portfolio if we didn't have to put copays on medication? How much less expensive would our insurance be if we didn't have other health issues? I don't have to regurgitate that and go over those pain points. You know those particular things yourself. So there's different things, systems that have been put in place that if you would love to discuss with me, we have a 12-week boot camp course, online course that's starting next month. And this course is going to be phenomenal because we're going to go deeper into the things that I talked about today, putting together your Mission Possible team. We're even going to talk finances. We're going to talk about how to afford to have your Mission Possible team without affecting your current budget that you're used to at home. Okay. If you have a job, we're going to show you some incredible things. We're going to go hardcore. We're going to go into the mind. We're going to go into creating your why. It's going to be a fun 12 weeks and it's going to be online, much like this. And you're going to have an opportunity to come on this panel. What I'm talking to you from is what's called a Google Hangout. And there's slots where I can invite you to come onto the video with me and we can have a conversation and you'll be able to see my expert team come on and so forth just as well. So the 12-week boot camp is a lot of fun. We're also opening up. I've created a space in my residence. I live in a luxury apartment home center in downtown St. Petersburg, and I've turned it into a spa. And so you're going to have an opportunity. Maybe you would like to come and spend a week with me. If you're from out of town, I'll pay your airfare. As part of the registration for the week and so forth. Airfare is included. Room and board. You get to work with my chef. Get to go and work out with me. Go to all my medical appointments. That again, you're going to learn in the 12-week boot camp. All the things that are important, how to keep your skin tight as you're releasing. See, again, this is new vocabulary. As you're releasing weight, you want to keep that skin tight and healthy. People are telling me my face is looking younger. I learned a formula today that I went and purchased the ingredients I'm going to be making up, and I'm going to be doing a mask tonight. I'm sorry, a mask in the morning, which has vitamin E. So I bought some liquid vitamin E, which is great for the skin, coconut oil, olive oil, and lemons. So this is something that will share with me. I'm going to put this all together and I'll be massaging that in my skin and we'll see how that works out. So I have a little spot that I want to work on and see what happens with that. So then we have a group retreat that's coming up where we're going to be staying in a beach home doing a lot of activities. Again, our chef will come in and work with everyone, teaching you how to prepare foods and creating meals that don't take a long time. But then if it's something that does take a long time, how to prepare for that so that you can budget your time better. So again, I'm about having lots and lots of fun. So I encourage you to email me at ericlamar@awholenewmeshow.com if you would like to take advantage of a free consultation. And I would love to just take some time, send me your phone number. I'll have your email. Tell me some of the goals that you have. Tell me what you would like to get out of the consultation, and tell me how you benefited from tonight's webinar. So with all that being said, I wanted to keep this at less than an hour. We've been at 45 minutes. So as I always say, continue to choose happiness, choose health, show someone some love, namely yourself first, because without you, nothing else matters. So many are depending on us. We have to, as they say on airplanes, put our oxygen mask on first before we can help someone else. Please do not be consumed about guilt that you're taking away from your children by taking care of yourself. If you're not okay and you're not around, they're not going to have anyone to take care of them. So take care of you first. Remember, give our children some love. Give them hugs, give them kisses, keep them safe. Enjoy playing Pokemon, but don't let them run off with strangers. This is a hard world we're living in. Our children need our love. Please give it to them. I'm Eric Lamar. I want to thank you for tuning in tonight. Please shoot me an email, and we'll see you at the next webinar broadcast tomorrow at 10 o'clock a.m. Eastern. I'll be boxing training, and about 11 o'clock, we'll get into our broadcast, so you get to tune in and check it out. I look forward to seeing your emails. Have a great night. Keep the faith, keep the health, and we'll see you on the trails.